Hello modding community, I'd like to show you and introduce you to my Buccaneer Bay, my newest creation, my latest creation. The chore was in a contest held by WMI, that's wemoddit.com in Germany, sponsored by MS Tech. This whole build is based upon an MS Tech external hard disk case, and I changed it in this case into the Buccaneer Bay. Buccaneer, you all know, was a type of a pirate, who went around looting and looking for bounty, and wasn't exactly the friendliest and nicest of persons, but he always usually had a treasure chest with him, or well, that's at least what Hollywood wants to tell us, and that's what this one's all about. I decided to make a bay for everything. In this case, a hard disk drive, which is underneath, the USB port in the front, all the LEDs, of course, the external CD drive here on the side, and of course the card reader here. So it's all cased in this Buccaneer style treasure chest, and first of all I'll show you the functions and then I'll show you the case itself. So when I plug in this wire, let's turn it around, let's close it, there you go. So it's got its electricity here and port, and it's got the USB port here. So let's turn it around, let's take this wire and plug it into the PC. So the PC has got a lot to do then, because of course it has to hack in all these drives. So there you go. Try to get both things in at the same time. So now all the windows are popping up. Like I said, it's got all these 4 different things which it has to hang in there. This is, what is this? Let's see. This is the CD drive. Then this one is the DCIM. That's the card. So let's close that as well. This one is the USB stick. Yeah, making of the Buccaneer. So the only thing I'm missing at the moment is the Buccaneer Bay hard disk, and that takes a little bit longer, but it'll be here any second now. There it is. And that's the hard disk itself. It's empty at the moment. It's half a terabyte and it's working perfectly. So as you can see, I've got the Buccaneer hard disk here. Here I've got the CD drive. Well, I can throw it out and then you can see. Also often. I've got the Buccaneer stick here, and I've got the media, which is the card on the other side. So it seeks out, so I'll pull it out and you can see how they all disappear. Let's go a little bit nearer. I'll try to get everything in. There you go. And plug it back in. And slowly but surely everything comes back again. So as you can see, well done MS Tech, your transformer works perfectly for much more than just a hard disk drive. Let's close all the windows again, and it's just populating the window with all the different drives here. Once again, the card reader, the stick, the CD drive. Oops, I have to pop it in again. There's a CD drive. Whoops, that's the Buccaneer hard drive again. And whoops, there it is. That's the CD drive and the Buccaneer itself. Alrighty, so as you can see, everything's working. So now I'll pause and I'll show you the features. So first of all, so that I've got more freedom and I can turn this thing around and swivel it a bit, I'll take out the I'll leave the electricity in so that it lights up, and I'll take the USB out. So here we go again. The whole thing weighs about 2.5, 3 kilos. I think it's about roughly 3 kilos after weight. And I wanted to use as much of the case as possible. Here you can see the most perfect pieces are, of course, the case itself, and the rest I wanted to give it that rough touch, you know, like weather-beaten, worn-out, used look a bit, but at the same time make it look a little bit noble, you know, because it's modern hardware inside there. I decided to make all the hinges and the clasp and everything all myself. First of all, I grooved in here engraved in the ports for USB at the back, which is the external port. Usually it'll be a B port, but I made an A port because it's a bit flatter. And here I put in the receptacle for the electricity. Here you've got the transformer. The MS Tech case, I wanted you to be able to see it because that's actually the heart of the whole contest, so I didn't want to cover it all up, but I wanted to use as much as possible. So I've got one part, one side here, and then on the other side I've got the other part, or the other side of the hard disk where I put the USB port in as well. And here at the top, where I've got this like an airborne emblem here in 3D. I've got the black top part of the hard disk cover as well, which I utilized to give it a background, and you've got the LEDs which are inside the hood here, lighting it up from the top and from the bottom. These, what do you call them in English? That's a good question. Cast iron parts, which are depicting the cast iron parts which are or hammered in and holding the planks together, which are actually just grooves cut in by hand into the wood, are all made out of wood as well. And these are something like thumbtacks, which I just nailed in afterwards, but this is all wood. I just gave it a very hammered iron look. It's all just a paint job. They're being held together here with the chains as well. These things, I've got quite a lot of these. I think I've got 3 left. I halved the head, put LEDs in the back, made the bones, the cross bones here myself as well, and stuck them on there. You've got the hard disk here. Here once again this hammered look again. I'll just move the pen holder, I'll show you that afterwards. Here in the front you got all these chrome parts stuck onto it as well, because it's all about buccaneers and skulls and crossbones and things. The stick, I can take that out, I don't need, that's a different project, I'll show you that later on. The whole thing is stained with computer ink, normal standard printer ink. I use printer ink in my airbrush. I've done it before, and it gives you that worn off look as well, depending on how hard and where you sand it off. Here you've got the CD drive, here wedged in here on the side. I'll turn the whole thing around a bit, and then you can see the rear, or the bottom, sorry. That's where the hard disk is. You can probably just see it there. The blue LED shows that the hard disk is on. All others are red. I left that blue so that I know that the hard disk is actually on. Got a couple of LEDs there as well. The clasp I made myself. It works perfectly, as you can see. It's just a half round piece of wood here and a groove here, and they slot into each other. There you go. So what else have we got? Yeah, let's open the hood. Inside, just for the sake of being a slave to the theme, I made a buccaneer knife as well here. To show how it used to look, I left the other side because I hardly take it out anywhere. That's what it used to look like. It's the wrong color for the whole theme, so I took a part of the MS Tech case here as well, and I made a new handle part for it. So I can just... So here you can see the hinges, or the hinge, because it's all one unit actually. I made... excuse me, I made the hinge myself. I could have bought some as well, but I decided to make it myself. And it works perfectly. You got this rod here. If I would slide this out, take out these 2 washers here, then I can lift the whole hood, sorry, and I could, you know, if I wanted to change something or repairs or whatever. Let's move it around again. So when I got that call, I was inside here. This is the wire which is going from the bottom where all the electronic is and where the transformer from 12 volts to 5 volts for the CD drive and for the card reader, etc. is. And that's the wire I covered here with shrink tubing, and it's giving the electricity for the 12 volts for the LEDs inside there. I used a piece of the MS Tech case here as well, which was left over. I wanted to integrate as much of as possible of the MS Tech case. Here you can see the chain. The chain actually falls onto the felt so that it doesn't make any noise, doesn't fall outside where it would be hanging in front of the CD drive. I didn't want that. So I put it in a little bit further towards the center so that when I actually close the case, it falls inside the case. What else we got? Yeah, I think that's just about it. That was the Buccaneer Bay all-in-one treasure chest, a bay for all this hardware. So, and for the sake of completion and for the sake of using as much of the as possible of the MS Tech case, this was the base, which would be standing like that, and you would put your hard disk inside it. Also from MS Tech, and I decided to use that as well, and I made this Buccaneer Biro. It's a normal Biro. This is not my best work. I didn't make that myself anyway, but the rest is all a slave to the theme once again. I used the same elements here like I did on the Buccaneer as well, on the whole bay. And I utilized that as well. Instead of throwing it away, why throw away? Yeah, why buy if you can utilize, or if you can modify? So now, whoops, just dropped something. Now I can use that pen as well to match the whole set. Alright then, that was the Buccaneer Bay. I hope you like it. Oh, just bye-bye.